What is going on, guys? This is your boy Gunner 2 times bringing you another video. And in today's video, I am going to be giving my first impressions of the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Alpha. Even though the game has been gone for over 24 hours, I still want to give my first impressions. Now, the last two videos that I dropped were about skill-based matchmaking, and I want to give a positive side of the Black Ops Cold War Alpha because I don't want to make it seem like I'm not trying to be positive about the game and the game is not good or great at all. But I'm going to give my first impressions of the game, and of course, it will have some skill-based matchmaking discussions in it. But before we get into the video, can you please hit that notification bell and smash that like button? Now, I really don't have a list of things that, everybody else is going through, but I'm just going to throw some random things out there throughout this video just to keep you on topic, really. So I'm going to start with maps. Maps are definitely hard to really critique in some ways because you don't really know how they're really going to perform until launch. Even though we played it in alpha, we played some of the maps in alpha, you can't really say that this map is not going to work with this game mode, this map is not going to work with this such players. So my favorite map throughout the whole alpha was Satellite. Satellite was definitely one of the best maps and definitely one of the funnest maps to play on because it didn't give you a set location, really. So meaning spawn locations, it was definitely a lot of space throughout the map, especially where the sand dunes were. So if you spawn on that side, you can get a couple kills or you can get spawn killed or spawn trapped, honestly. But seeing that a lot of people like the map, I like the map also. It worked with Scorestreaks, it worked with domination, and it was a good map. The only thing that it really didn't work on was the snipers. The snipers were killer on that map because when you spawned in their sand dunes, snipers would automatically just kill you. So that came with spawn trapping. Satellite needs a lot of rework with spawns and stuff like that, but having different counterways, having a midden lane going into each spawn, I think it works very well. But I think it works well with domination personally because it had more flow and stuff like that. Now, the map Miami was definitely dark. I couldn't really see a lot of the enemies because they would either head glitch with a bunch of cars in the middle or they would just hide on the side of the beach with the sand and you can't really see nobody. Like, I wish the lighting could be fixed in Miami because in certain areas, if you can't see nobody, they're just going to sit there the whole time. And even when you go to try to kill them and they switch locations, you're still not going to be able to kill them. Now, I can tell you this one thing about Miami, that domination did work on that map. It played very well, and it didn't promote camping or head glitching like Team Deathmatch. Now, domination is probably going to be one of the best modes in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War just because of the flow and it makes people move around, and it changes the spawns. But other than that, that's my just of Miami because the Miami map was fun at some times. And like I said, you need certain game modes on those maps. So Satellite was cool with 6v6. I can see a potential 10v10 on Satellite, but on the map Miami, it was kind of larger than Satellite. And I think it may need a 10v10 game mode on that map because it's just too much space. Like I said, the head glitching and the lighting on the map wasn't too good and it wasn't too great. But if we can get more lighting or the change of the day of the map, I think that would be good as well. Moscow was my favorite map besides Satellite because Moscow was like one of them old feeling Black Ops 1 maps. It felt really good to play. The flow was good. Domination was good on it. I think you could play Kill Confirmed on that map as well. Certain maps are good for certain game modes. That's the thing about these maps and having different size maps. So Kill Confirmed, Domination, Team Deathmatch was good on Moscow. Same thing with Satellite. But Miami was only really good on Domination. Maybe Kill Confirmed, but Team Deathmatch is just promoting head glitching and stuff like that. So I don't think Miami is that great of a map. Personally, that's just me. Now getting to the guns. The guns felt really good. They sounded really great. Sometimes they did sound like firecrackers, maybe because of the suppressor, but my favorite guns throughout the whole alpha was the XM4, the AK-47, AK-74U, the Krieg 6, the MP5, of course, stuff like that. But a lot of other guns like the Mini Uzi felt very underwhelming. So if they could buff that a little bit more, that would be great as well. Snipers, I really didn't mess with. LMGs, I really didn't mess with at all. Rocket launchers, didn't touch. Pistols really didn't make a class for them, really. But the secondary shotguns was really good. That Spaz 12 is really, really good. And some people want it nerfed, but I think they should just leave it. It's a great secondary. And that pump action shotgun was great as well. So I'm a fan of the shotguns this year because they're secondaries. You don't really need to make a class for them. But having them as secondaries are great. So if they can buff up the pump shotgun a tad bit so you won't get as many hit markers as you was in alpha, that would be great too. Now, we already know about the snipers. The snipers are going to be heavily nerfed by the beta and launch. So in this alpha, they was really, 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 really good. But in the alpha, in the beta and the launch, they won't be as nearly as good as they were in the alpha. So I know a lot of you sniper fans are kind of upset about that, but they won't be as good. Now, getting to overall movement, flow, and stuff like that, the movement of the soldier felt very clunky sometimes, depending on what gun you were using. Like sometimes the soldier would hitch sometime. They would slow down, it felt like. And if they can fix the movement of the soldiers, maybe add a little bit more speed to them, I think the flow of the game will be even better. The jump shotting and drop shotting and stuff like that were kind of excessive in the alpha. A lot of people was doing it. And it seemed like every time somebody drop shots or jump shots, they don't get the full bullet registration. Like if you're shooting them first and they jump shot, it seemed like they don't get that first initial shot and they should die. Like it seems like they get more health throughout that gunfight. And a gunfight literally is only like 4 seconds, but that could just be me. So if they can slow down the jump shotting and the drop shotting and have a timer on them, I think it will be very good. The normal mini map is great as well. Glad they added that back. Score streaks didn't have a problem with, but a lot of people don't like how the score streak system works because if you're not going on like kill streaks, you're not going to get none of your streaks, literally. So maybe lowering the points or just leave it the same, really, because I don't think messing with the score streak system needs to be reworked or something. I'm fine with it because I can get my streaks, but for other people, it may be a little tad bit harder for them to get the streaks or get that multiplier to get their streaks. So I understand both sides of it, but fixing the movement to where it's not clunky and adding an adjustment to the speed of the soldier will be great as well. Now, a lot of people was talking about the textures of the game where it wasn't filling in. It was a lot of pop in. Some of the stuff looked like clay. You got to understand this is an alpha. So they're not going to look, texture-wise, it's not going to look great because they have to figure out if it's going to work on the base Xbox One and the base PlayStation 4, and then you have to expand it to the PS5 and Xbox Series X. So, and that's an alpha build, so that's why the textures and stuff wasn't as great, but I'm telling you, when we probably get to the beta, it will look a little bit more better, and then when we get to the launch is when we're going to get the final just of the textures and the 4K compatibilities and stuff like that, the frames and stuff like that. So with all I just said, I'm happy with Black Ops Cold War, even though we played the alpha build. I'm excited to play it when it releases, when it launches. But this is the thing right here. If skill-based matchmaking cannot be minimized, the experience for that game would be treacherous. It's not going to be fun. You're not going to be able to use the guns that you want. You're not going to be able to fully enjoy the casual experience for the multiplayer. If you do good, and if they can minimize the skill-based matchmaking, that will be great. Lower it and add a separate ranked playlist. I'm not going to stay on the skill-based matchmaking topic too long, but if they could do that, that would be great. Now, my overall experience with Black Ops Cold War, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I know it's just an alpha, and the beta, there's going to be a lot of changes. So I'm excited for the game. I just need a few things worked out, literally. The perk system, I'm cool with it. Nothing really to talk about there. The operators, not too much to talk about there. But just having the game fun for me is going to be a big thing. Am I going to have fun with this game this year? Because in Modern Warfare, the skill-based matchmaking was pretty high. And at some points, I really didn't enjoy the game. but I'm hoping this time I can enjoy it. The time to kill was good. The normal mini map, I had fun. I didn't have a problem with the time to kill at all. A lot of people saying it's too long, but I didn't have a problem with it at all. You know, I could finish my gunfights. Sometimes it did have a little latency problem when I'm trying to kill somebody, but overall, I enjoyed the beta, well, the alpha really. Now, today's video was fairly long, but that's just my first impressions of the alpha. The beta will be here in 3 weeks, so of course we'll have different impressions of the game, but I'm sorry this video was so long. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate that for you watching this long. I know it's 10 minutes, and I appreciate that, but that's just my first impressions, literally. That's it. There's nothing else really to discuss in alpha build, literally. When we get to the beta, we'll discuss different times. We'll discuss different variables of the game, literally, with the nerfs and buffs and stuff like that. But other than that, let me know what you think of the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Alpha. I'm a day late, but that's just how I feel. But other than that, this is your boy Gunner 2 times bringing you another video. Please like and subscribe and comment down below. And I am out. Peace.